Hi Guido Fox, welcome by a new book report. Today I want to talk with you about this book, De Geografie van Goed en Kwaad van Andreas Kinneging. Geography from Good and Evil, pages, nearly 500 pages of information about a little bit history, philosophy from Europe, Christianity, some personal development, rules, things what we can bring us further in life, some insights. I was searching for this word insight, so it's about good and evil behavior, history of Europe, Christianity, philosophy. So that kind of topics I want to discuss with you. I earlier in my life, a few years ago, I was reading a book, De Menselijke Maat. It's on my YouTube channel, 47, Book Report 47. I made a book report. I summarized, I think, 900 pages. It was a very thick book from him too. And you can watch there the book report too. It's only in Dutch. I now talking English, right? But first, I did it in Dutch. More viewers, by the way, in Dutch. Maybe I'm stupid that I changed to English. But he wrote earlier a book, De Menselijke Maat. You can watch it, book report 74, 47, excuse me, 47, 47, book report. And now I want to discuss with you this book, 500 pages of information. I highlighted the main issues and talk a little bit about the history and development of Western civilization and his premise, his view, whose standpoint is that we lost our Christian and Greek, old Roman values in our Western world, and now since 68, after World War II, we lost our ground, we lost our pillars, we lost contact with our soul, and therefore we are seeing Western civilization declining. So he said we have to go back to Christianity, the old values, what made Europe very great, and our Greek democracy, values and wisdoms from, of course, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and all the other philosophers who dominated our Western civilization. So now you see in the Western world so much mass immigration, and soon we are here, the Middle East and Africa, and we are not the Western world anymore. And I'm not so positive about that. Those people are able to bring a civilization into the Western world. So if you change all your demographics, also culture will be washed away, will be transfers towards other kind of cultures, cultural activities. So if you change the demographic dynamics, you also change the culture. And why this all happened? Why we let in so many people from the Africa and the Middle East? That is because we are not able to set borders, borders in our lives, stand up for ourselves, but also we are not able, capable to manage borders where though people are coming easily in our territory. But there is a deeper thinking pattern and destructive thinking pattern. After World War II, the boomers in our society, they raised up in peace. And after World War, everyone was fed up with wars, with maybe people. I know people, they had survived World War One and World War Two. So people were fed up with world wars, and they were thinking, if we mix every race, if we let everything in, people inside, no wars will come anymore, because there's nothing to fight anymore, because we are mixing nationalities, what is in real life not true. We are marrying still the women or the men mostly from the same race. So the perspective was, if we mix nations, then there's nothing to fight anymore. Without the Osho dogmatic insight is that wars are collective, sexual, and emotional frustrations who are building up in life and then has to come out in war. So even if you mix nationalities, what is not true, if you dissolve the nation states, then still wars, tension, rumors will exist, because we're not solved our emotional, sexual desires through meditation and escaping the matrix. So tensions will continue, maybe on other levels, but it will continue because we are not so far in our evolutionary development. So after World War II, 68 is a very important date in the change of perspective. There was a very too peaceful attitude towards newcomers. So and underlying was not only mixing nations and dissolve nationalities and dissolving nation states, but also moral relativism and very widespread tolerance. And I want to talk first about moral relativism. So what moral relativism is that you see every culture is equal. So, oh, that is the Eastern culture. Oh, that's the African culture. Oh, that's the South America culture. Oh, that's the Alaska culture. And we are all the same, right? Some cultures have that good things. Some cultures have bad things. We all have our positive and negative points, but under the red line, we are all the same. All the people are the same. Later, I want to talk with you about equality. that everyone has to become the same. We try as a government de maakbare samenleving. We want to shape society how we want it. We want to create an equal outcome for every situation. And that is also part of his other work from Kinneging, is that leads towards communism, that leads towards declining of self-development, self-striving, self-discipline, self-creation, building up your businessness if you're going into a system where the outcome has to be always equal towards your neighbor, so everyone get the same loan or the same attention in the schools. So moralism, moral relativism become part in the thinking patterns of the higher society, the intellectuals. To After World War II, the extreme peaceful situation. So every culture, they say, we let in every culture because every person is the same, and every culture is under the red line the same. And evil as a possibility, page 26, will never exist. There is no evil anymore. After World War II, that was our last World War. It was our last war after World War II. Evil doesn't exist anymore. So we are going in ultimately tolerance. Everyone is welcome. Every hug, we give everything a hug, and you are good as you are. Maybe your culture is a little bit behind, but doesn't matter. Come in Europe. You're welcome. I hug you. So that will probably the chance that Western civilization will fall down, will be hurted so much. The mass immigration costs so much money, delivers not the creative, innovative powers we need to survive towards big countries like China or USA. So that is what you see, the declining of the West, the fall of the West. My friend Sid Lucas wrote a book about the fall of the West, where he describes how this process will continue. So ultimately, tolerance, even for the intolerance people of cultures there are in the world. And close by moral relativism is nihilism. So the author made this wonderful, beautiful link between moral relativism and nihilism. Actually, is what you say with moral relativism: everything is okay, everything is fine, you are good who you are. You're fine. Don't change. Be how you are. And that will create a life attitude of it doesn't make sense what you're doing, because you're going to earn probably the same as your neighbor who is working very hard, who is striving, and you're doing nothing, because the outcome has to be the same. And that creates laziness. And laziness leads to pessimism. And pessimism leads to nihilism. And then the sense of life will disappear. So you see that people in West Europe slightly become less creative, less innovative, less striving, doesn't want to make so much money anymore because so much tax on our income that the whole innovative, creative people leave West Europe, leave the country, and you see that the tax burden will be very difficult to manage to pay all the people who live on welfare. So that was able to create tensions in the society. What he's actually saying in his book, we have to go back to our Greece wisdoms, our Christian values, our moral values, and let's be proud of ourselves. Let's proud what we built in our Europe world, and we build up so many civilized outcomes, right? Classical music, philosophers, nice buildings, and we lost our proudness of that, and we lose control about the situation, how it goes currently in Europe. And we can say with our democratic values that we are further than dictatorships. We are further than one party policies, countries. We are further in our treatment of prisoners than other countries in the world. We can say that we are further, and I can say that too, we are further in our civilized way of being, in personal development, in our consciousness levels. We build up ages and ages in West Europe and kind of consciousness level and collective consciousness level, and it's now on the break. So that's a little bit a summary about the philosophy and history of Europe. Page 5, interesting. The order in the zeal, Plato said. We have to contemplate, we have to meditate, we have to bring the puzzle of the soul back in his place. So if you go back to the old Greek guy, Plato, it's good that your soul is currently a mess, and we have to bring that on the right place. And on page 54 is also part of the destruction of Western civilization, is a collective destruction. So if the people are not proud of themselves, or the people are weak, or the people are insecure, if the people have mess in their soul, it has also a collective outcome, right? So we have to stay fit, we have to stay mentally fit, then we are able to survive this crisis. So one thing on page 54 is lethargy. Lethargy. I hope I say it correctly in English. Lethargy is mind verlamming, is mind down. And that's what you see nowadays, that people are getting burnouts and bore-outs a lot, right? That is an outcome of mind breakdowns. And he said, it's very interesting, people don't work anymore because people are constantly dealing with side cases. So, and that is probably really true. If I focus on the book report, I feel happy, I feel striving. Afterwards, I am happy because I fulfilled a task, I fulfilled a job, I gave some energy towards the world, I shared my knowledge, and I cannot go in between on my social media. So what you see is a link between television, social media, who was pumping up after World War II. So people were confronting with social media, television, distractions, ping ping, TikTok, Instagram, posting, and the downfall of Western civilization. Because if we are distracted with side cases, it's not fulfilling. It's a small candy every time. And this collective small candies and this retardedness of our soul will create a collective distraction. So it's very important to stay by your job and searching not so much entertainment distraction. So working as very healthy. That is what Andreas Kinneging said in this book. Too much side cases, what you are doing in life. Page 19.2. That's a cultural difference. The Western civilization evolved to a mind ethics civilization. Western European people, Eastern European people, I think too, USA, Canada, we are more thinkers. We are think before we act, and we evolved ourselves towards higher beings, more rational beings. Other cultures are more closer by the old nature, are more reactive in their social behavior, easily, very direct reacting. So there are differences between cultures. Let us be clear. And what he's saying is that other cultures than Western cultures, and China, I think, is also very rational, culture. India too, I think, there has also evolved quite good. But I talk more about Middle East, Africa, and South America. A lot of parts is that there is more an honor ethics, and that shift has to be made from an honor ethics towards a mind ethics, and ultimately towards a meditation ethics, that you're always in your chakra line, right? You're going to more religious ethics. So more honor is important. Your family honor, your personal honor. You know, I am someone. I walk with my chest forward in the street, and I am someone. People have to see me. I am a man. I am an beautiful woman. You have to show off, right? So a lot of show off behavior from people from other cultures than the Western society is mostly related to honor ethics. And the shift has to be made towards the mind ethics. So, and that costs some time. That's not probably made in a few generations or a few centuries. So your honor, your family honor, your personal honor is so important. And for the most Western European citizens, they're not really in the showing off mood. For Christian cardinal outcomes, insights, life rules, they're from Plato and Cicero, the Cicero's cardinale deugden. It's wisdom. 4. Invest in wisdom. Very important in your life. Read books about Marcus Aurelius, Read books about Caesar, read books about theological things that make you a better person. Power and mood. Courage. So, courage, power, that are quite the same. Show courage in your life. Do something in your life what you really like. So, reading books, sharing wisdoms like me. If you like to sell fish, sell fish. But really do something what you intrinsically like to do in your life with your career and how you want to shape your relationships in your life. Do something what you like and have the courage to do that. Rechtvaardigheid. Being a person who believes in karma. So don't do nasty things to other persons. That's the most important. Number 3, show a mirror towards yourself. Another coach can do that for you, but also mirroring your own behavior. Look what you are caused by other persons. That's number 3. Karma will always hitting your back. So have your karma effects clear and sharp. Number 4, search for the middle way. Don't spend so much money because you want to show off. Buy what is really needed in your life. Be a little bit modest. Don't talk too much. Don't shout from the highest tower in town, right? Don't show off with your stores. Be a little bit more calm and be a little bit more relaxed. So, right, four Christian values. 1, wisdom, invest in wisdom. 2, show courage in your life. Number 3, karma is hitting you back. 4, be a little bit more modest in your life. Want to tell you something about hoogmoed. Hoogmoed is means in Dutch, in English, means that you're shouting, showing off so much that you fall down soon, before the fall. So it happens with a lot of people. They're showing off, and or they start a company, it goes very well, and at a certain moment the company is breaking down. They will have a shitty life. They lost all their fake friends and they're going to the drain. That happens so many cases. Why it happens that you get very difficult periods, even it was very financial or relationship wise good with you, to put your ego on a place. Putting your ego on a place. That's what nature is causing you. If you're putting yourself higher than the rest and you have ego there, nature will kick you back and put your ego down. And that showing off all the time is reckless behavior, is a kind of fear behavior, because you have to show the outside world that you are someone, showing that you are a person of value. And that causes reckless behavior. You're constantly watching the surroundings. You're kind of paranoia. You're paranoid dealing with the environment if you get the instant gratification, if you get the attention from the outside world, if the outside world are still seeing you as a highly important person. And so it delivers reckless paranoia feelings if you have to show off all the time, and therefore universe is kicking in and put your ego back on place. That's how the soul development works in your life. Page 153 is the Neigung in German language, a lot of times German language, and the Plicht. You have in your life some addictive to social media, addictive to entertainment. You have some part in your mechanism who wants to have more and more sex. You want to have more and more drugs. You want to have a bigger house. You want to have nicer women. You want to have more and more. The Neigung. You want to have that. You want to grab that. That's the evil in yourself, right? And you have the Plicht, the duty in your life. And the duty in your life, is not always nice. But you have a duty in your life. You have to find your career purpose. You have to find how you want to live your life. You're searching in your life for values. You're searching here for life for the right path. And then you found your duty. And if you find your duty, you have to also take into account the negative things, the negative parts. You have to embrace that too. That's important. If you find your duty, it's not always sunny and shining in your life. But even then, you found your duty in your life. That's the most important. And if you found your duty in your life, then you will be focused on that, and you have no time for side cases anymore. You have no time for falling into evil, into the Neigung, the addiction to step in false fulfillments in your life. Page 235, very interesting. It's about richness. Some people get enormous rich. And in the Greek and Roman Empire, it was okay to be rich. It was fine to be rich, to trade or leading the country, or you get money from your parents. It's okay. Rich or poor is both fine. There was no government who said the outcome has to be on an equal level. So if you're rich, there's a jealousy tax, and you have to pay to the poor people. That was in that time period not really the case. I remember that rich people pay taxes, and poor people are not able to pay taxes because they had no money. So the only money the government got was through taxes, right? But it was okay to be rich. It was okay to make money in that time. And now you see there's a guilty. It's guilty to make money. It's guilty to employ yourself. And you have to give it to the poor people. Otherwise you're a bad person. You're a bad man. You're a bad woman. So equality, the outcome has to be equal all the time. I told you, the outcome of your work has to be the same. And that's devastating for Western progress, for Western civilization. What is nice about the old Roman and Greek attitudes towards wisdom, you are able to make money how much you want to make, how much you get. If you offer quality, you have a price. But it is bad, it's Christian, evil, bad behavior if you put money first before your duty. That's an important thing. You place money, earning money, before your duty in life. And nowadays, you see in Western civilization, you see that people are run to make money fast as possible. Starting up a company, making fast money on the stock market or social media or whatever, influencers, making quick money is the goal. Oh, this is sector where you can make money. Oh, let's go there. Oh, I chose this study because there is so much work to do there. I go there. And what you learn from this Christian and this Greek philosophy is that you have to find your duty. And if you really found your duty in life and you make money with it, it's a byproduct. It's fine. Even if you make no money, it's fine. But now it's turned around. The money is important and not what you're doing. And that is devastating for the soul. That's devastating for the Western collective work, ethics, soul. So first we have to find our duty, our personal duty. And if you can make money with it, it's fine, but it's always a byproduct. It's not the main goal. It's not the main goal. You become a money rat. You become not a person. You're not becoming a human being. You're not becoming a higher being even if you act like this. So can be resulting for a downfall in your life if you act like this, like an 235, 240 obsession, an obsession to make money and an obsession to spend money. If you make more money, oh, where I have to spend it on? Oh, let's buy this and this and this and that and that. And you're busy mentally with spending money and not with your main goal. You're going into side cases, right? So you're constantly thinking, where is my money on the stock market? I have to look the stock market. I have a few houses, I have a few cars, all more administration, all side cases. And before you know, you lost your main duty goal here in life. And that delivers a collective unhappiness. And that delivers a downfall of Western civilization because we are not following our duty. With the negative points also there, right, as I told you. So the Homo Equalities, page 400. The Homo Equalities, we are going there instead of the Homo Hierarchy. Sometimes there's a hierarchy, right? Some people worked harder than other people, and we have to accept inequality. We have to embrace maybe inequality because the money outcome doesn't make sense. If you follow your duty in life, it's all fine. No jealousy. Striving, innovation, creative, do your thing. And sometimes there is an hierarchy. We need a boss to listen to. Someone has to have a lead in the company. Not everyone can be the boss of the company. It will be a mess, right? And sometimes people have more knowledge, studied more, have more intellectual power. Some football player is better than another football player. Also, there you cannot interfere in the outcome. I want that every football player earns the same, and every football player has to be on the equal level. You cannot manage that. Sometimes it's acceptation from hierarchy is better than constantly try to equalize society and constantly seeing people as the same and giving doctor's titles to middle school person, what nowadays is the ID, to bring a university promotion degree on the same level as a middle school person. Again, trying to make the outcome same. I'm pro an horizontal level playing field as much as possible that everyone can study. That's okay. So from the ground is okay, but constantly try to change an outcome is devastating. So hierarchy and structure is sometimes, and most of the cases, very important to build up and structure a society and a flourishing society and a stable society and a society where you can be proud of. So hierarchy is not bad. But if you are in a leading position and you haven't reached a higher hierarchy status, you also have responsibilities. So with a higher position in a society, you have also more responsibilities. And the second one is also lust. So many people are coming on high positions, become arrogant, are using people in their lives, get power over people, misbehave themselves. You are thinking that you're a man and you can do everything. So if you reach a higher position in your hierarchy in society, you earn more, that's nice, it's okay. You follow your duty and you come there. You have to be also taking account how more you're higher on the hierarchy, also you have responsibility. You have the responsibility for the people down under you. If you're a boss of a CEO of a multinational company, you have to take care of your people under you. And that's also losing in the Western world. We are not taking care of the people who are on the lower rungs in society. So with hierarchy also comes responsibility. Other way around, if you want to get everything equal, there's no responsibility anymore. Everything everyone is doing is for his own. Stay out of my way. I'm working alone. I'm in my own place in the company. I have no responsibility. I'm not taking care of anyone else. It's me, 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 me. It's like an individual perspective, an individual world where we are living in. So what he's saying, we have to go back to the hierarchy in the Greek and Roman time, back to our roots, back to our proudness, back to the courage. And then the responsibility is also coming back in our lives. And responsibility for the other persons is also good for yourself, right? To create a responsible attitude towards your surroundings. So with equalizing in society, responsibility will disappear, and that is insane, and that is part of the downfall of Western civilization. Thank you for watching this video, and see you by the next one. Bye bye.